Upon a time, there was a small girl called Little Red Riding Hood. She lived with her parents beside a deep and dark forest. In a cottage on the other side of the forest lived her grandmother. And in the deep, dark forest lived a big, bad wolf.
"Grandmother's poorly,"
said Little Red Riding Hood's mother one day.
"Please take her this cake, but don't stop on the way."
So Little Red Riding Hood set off through the deep and dark forest. She looked all around. There wasn't any sound. Then who should she meet but the big bad wolf? "Good day, my dear," growled the wolf with a big and bad smile. "What are you doing here?"
She looks delicious.
"I'm going to grandmother's to take her a cake,"
replied Little Red Riding Hood.
"What big teeth!"
The wolf had a plan. "Wouldn't your grandmother like some flowers?" He smiled.
"What a good idea,"
said Little Red Riding Hood. And she stopped to pick a big bunch. Meanwhile, the wolf sped ahead through the deep and dark forest. At last he arrived at Grandmother's cottage.
I'm hungry.
Thought the big bad wolf. And he knocked the door.
"Hello, grandmother,"
Growled the wolf.
"It's Little Red Riding Hood."
That sounds more like the big bad wolf.
Thought the grandmother, and she crept quickly under the bed. The wolf went in. He looked all around, but there wasn't a sound. Then his tummy rumbled.
"No one's here?"
He grumbled. Little Red Riding Hood will be along soon.
It's dusty. I mustn't sneeze.
Quickly, the wolf put on grandmother's dressing gown and nightcap. Then he hopped into the bed and pretended to nap. He snarled. Little Red Riding Hood will never know it's me. I'm ready for a tasty snack. Soon Little Red Riding Hood knocked at the door.
"Hello, grandmother.
She called.
It's Little Red Riding Hood."
"In, my dear," growled the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood opened the door.
"Grandmother,
She gasped.
what big ears you have!"
"All the better to hear you with, my dear," growled the wolf.
"And grandmother, what big eyes you have!"
"All the better to see you with, my dear," growled the wolf.
"And grandmother, what big teeth you have!"
"All better too."
Those teeth remind me of someone."
"Gobble you up!" roared the wolf. But as he leaped out of bed, grandmother's nightcap flopped right over his head. "I can't see anything,"
Quick, down here, dear.
whispered grandmother. And she pulled Little Red Riding Hood under the bed. Just then, a woodcutter passed by the cottage. He heard a growling and howling, and he dashed inside. With one swish of his axe, he killed the big, bad wolf. The woodcutter looked all around, but there wasn't a sound. And then, out crept Little Red Riding Hood and grandmother from under the bed. And Little Red Riding Hood said,
"Mother was right. I'll never stop again on my way through the forest."
and they lived happily ever after.
Come here.
Ooh!